everybody, welcome to my fake cooking show. And today actually it's my fake baking show because it seems that everybody is baking banana bread. And if you have known me for any particular time, if you have lived in a building with me, either a dorm or been a roommate or been in my cottage in Scotland, been on one of my youth teams or been a leader or been a close personal friend or one of my staff over the last 25 plus 30, 50 years, you probably have had one of my breads. Pumpkin bread was a recipe from my Nana and is a great yummy recipe, which I've given as thank yous and as Christmas presents, birthday presents, all kinds of stuff, and have had it requested. My pumpkin bread and my banana bread have been kind of head and head for a lot of years, and being that it would have been Derby weekend, I am mindful that I think banana bread is going to win right now. So I'm going to make some banana bread. This is an old recipe. I feel like most of my recipes come from my grandmother, but I'm not sure about this one. I've just have had it so long that when I lived in Scotland, I made a wee cooking book and sold it as a fundraiser, I think possibly for the stables or for mission. And my banana bread was in there. You can see this one is well loved. And so it is a standard. It is so simple. I already have a third of a cup of applesauce, no sugar, just plain. Sometimes I make my own, but I haven't today. And this is our favorite chunky applesauce, no sugar added. And so it's just apples from Wegmans. I've got that in there. I use that instead of oil. I've been in conversation with folks who've said, well, I prefer mayonnaise, or I put applesauce in as well, or some people use oil or they use butter. But applesauce has served me well for years, and I have generally not told people that I have done that because I don't want them to be confused and think that it's an apple banana bread, because it's just a banana bread. So I'm putting 2/3 sugar in, but I am using Menorah pure cane, organic, and I'm not sure why we have this, although we've definitely tried to reduce our sugar over the years, and so that has been a part of that. And so it's a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar, Menorah sugar to regular sugar. So I've got some bananas that you can tell actually I bought for making banana bread, and I've just been kind of waiting for them to be done. And they are done. They've been kind of making a little sculpture over here out to the side, and a couple of people have said, hey, your bananas look like they're getting ready for bread, and now they're ready. So let's do this. The recipe calls for 3 bananas ripe. I'm going to put in 4. And then the other, actually I think that one kind of wanted to go in. I think I'm going to keep those 2, and I'm going to let them be, for the next batch. And some people are nut people in their breads. I'm not. I do not like, I don't like nuts in my bread. Very infrequently will I put them in a brownie or whatnot. I just recently made Katharine Hepburn brownies, which are really simple and really yummy, and they call for a nut, and I actually went digging through our mixed nuts and pulled out a bunch of macadamia nuts and put those in. So I'm just mixing the egg, the applesauce, the bananas. I don't really need to use my mixer because honestly, I want the bananas chunky. I want the bananas chunky, so that's okay. So that's that. I'm gonna get my dry ingredients. How about that? Let's switch out the trash for those guys, and let's get our dry ingredients. Been thinking about getting some new containers for my flour and sugar, but I just haven't, and none of us are shopping right now, so I am using unbleached wheat organic flour, and it calls for 1 cup and 3/4 flour, and this is going to give me 2 loaves, and I'm going to do 1 loaf with chocolate chips because that's going to make me happy. I need 2 teaspoons of powder. Really important that that you get those mixed in so you don't get a tinny flavor. And then, oh, I forgot the vanilla. Got to put a little dash of Haitian vanilla into my wet ingredients. So I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So that's in. That's good. I'm gonna do just a little dash of Haitian vanilla. Shout out to Haiti, place that I love and I pray for daily. So thankful to have been to Haiti and seen the gorgeous country that it is, and then also see the beauty of the people, what gracious and generous people that are caught in devastating poverty and corruption. But the government are not the people, and you cannot stop people's generosity or hearts. Okay, so that's the dry ingredients all mixed together, and applesauce. Oh, 2 tablespoons of milk. I always forget the milk part. And you could really go with or without milk. But I am gonna do 2 tablespoons of milk because I think it's a little smoother when you do 1, 2. So that's that. That will make it a little bit smoother. Okay, let's get the egg and the applesauce and the banana and the sugar all mixed together. A little tablespoons of milk. Okay, let's get the dry in there. Now we're just gonna do a little at a time, get it incorporated. It's gonna look sticky like you expect it to. You know, I don't know why everybody's crazy for banana bread right now. And it's been true in my life in lots of different times. When I lived in Scotland and I lived in Glebe Cottage, I often made banana bread for all kinds of different occasions. I very often have been testing out recipes on friends and neighbors. That's been pretty true my whole life. The Stevens family lived just in the farm down the road from me in Scotland, and I often was trying out new breads and cakes. I think I've mentioned before I have an autumn bread, which is like a carrot cake and a zucchini bread that have come together, which is pretty yummy. And I tested out a lot of frosting flavors, and I tested a lot of different cakes and breads over the years on Nicola and on her brothers. So they were all very good sports. In seminary, when I was at Princeton, I would very often go down to the kitchen in the bottom of Alex, which is where I went, and lived while I was at Princeton. And the thing about the kitchen in Alex is that it was good and it was bad for lots of different reasons. And one of the things what was great about it is that if it was something that you really liked, then you would smell what was being cooked in the basement, and it would just woofed. It would dance up, as in a cartoon, through the elevator shafts and torture people on different floors. Now, one of the things that made seminary hard in that kind of category is that you can't bake a lot of bread or bake a lot of cakes and stuff and keep them. They're gonna go off. And so what I would do is I would bake some breads and then I would slice them up and then I would leave them on different floors to share with the other residents of Alex. And it was a great stress reliever for me, and it blessed my friends. And so that was really fun. But I've always kind of baked different things to say thank you. I think it's a nice way to go about being kind and generous to people that have been kind to us. So if it's new neighbors or if it is staff or whatever, I think it's always nice to say thank you with fresh baked things. So it is lumpy, but it is wet. You can see there's a good amount of it. I've got all of the dry flour off the sides, and you can use a mixer, like I said, but the thing is that this doesn't take a lot of work to mix it up, and then you also aren't overworking the gluten, so then you're not going to have a tougher bread. So I've just lightly greased 2 pans, and I'm going to do one without chocolate chips because there might be a part. Do that. There might be part of you or your house, or who you might be bringing it to, who doesn't like chocolate chips. I don't know who those people are, but here you go. If you don't like chocolate, let me know. So let's talk about chocolate. You know, I'm a girl from Northern California, so I'm gonna go with Ghirardelli's. And I'm gonna go with 1, 2 good handfuls. Not gonna make you sad. Not gonna make you sad. Then you mix that stuff up, get that in there. Yep, here we go. I've got the oven at 350, and I'm gonna cook these babies for about an hour. I'm gonna watch them and I'm gonna check them at the 35-minute mark, just because my oven runs a little bit high. So I don't want it to burn. If it starts to burn, I'll put little tin foil caps on them so that the top doesn't get too hot and brown and yucky, but the inside gets fully cooked. Okay, that's gonna be 2 good breads. Yumminess, so simple, so easy. Anybody can do this and can do it well. This is my banana bread recipe. You're welcome to it. I'll put it in the comments below, and I'll let you see what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, friends, happy baking. Happy bananas.